Hey guys, welcome to another video. In this video, we're going to talk about how you can shortlist universities for your profile in the right way. Basically, it needs to be the right way because let me tell you what can go wrong if you don't do it in the right way. Number one, you can potentially have a lot of rejects. What that essentially means is that you wasted a lot of your money. Every single application you do, not only do you pay the application fee, but you also pay the score sending fee. Basically, if you took the GRE, you took the TOEFL, you have to send the scores, right, to each and every university, and you'll be paying for that. For every single university you send your scores to, you'll be paying for that. Okay, now this is applicable in other tests as well. SATs, ACTs, whatever, you name it, it's done, and you need to save that money. Secondly, a lot of people end up getting all rejects, 100% rejects, and they potentially say they apply again. They waste 1 year of your time, or what they do is they change their plans. They move on to, they just leave their plan of studying overseas. So in this video, we're going to make sure that doesn't happen to you. 1 minute quick overview. I just told you why this is important, and now we're going to talk about what we are going to look at in terms of shortlisting universities. How do you do that? Okay, so the first thing I want to tell you is wait till the end, because guys, I'm going to show you a good output of what a shortlist should be like, what it should look like. Okay, I'll show you that, so stick around till the end. Okay, so the first thing we'll talk about today is what our goal is in this process. What do we want to achieve by studying this process, by essentially knowing how to do this? Well, I would say the goal would be, number one, you should have a good list of 7 to 10 universities. Okay, it's a good list. 7 to 10 universities, I believe, is the most optimum number. You do not need to exceed 10. Below 7, I do not recommend going below 7 as well. Okay, just to make sure that you are safe. Now, what is this 7 to 10? Do they need to be all ambitious, all safe? No, it needs to be a good mix. It needs to be a good mix of ambitious, moderate, and safe universities. Okay, now why do I say that? See, the thing is that you need to have a list which has at least 1 to 2 safety nets. That's where your safe universities come in. Okay, 1 to 2 safety nets, because at the end of the day, those safety nets are essentially saving you. They're saving you from adverse situations, such as things that happened right now, like COVID-19. Fall 2021, we all know it's going to be competitive, but safety nets will ensure that you have something to turn back to. That maybe you got all the rejects from your ambitious, moderate universities, but you still have safety nets. In these safe universities, you get the admits over there. At least you can go. You don't need to waste 1 year of your time. Maybe you can take a transfer over there once you get there. But either way, these are your safety nets, such that they will protect you from essentially wasting 1 year of your time. That's what you want to protect against, first off, right? So yeah, that's what I wanted to point out. Safety net's important. Second thing, another one of the things that is that you need to save money over here. Now, this process can be extremely costly. You can apply to 20, 30, however many universities you want. But the thing is that the more universities you apply to, you're wasting money. Not only are you paying the application fee, you're sending the scores, sometimes you're sending the transcripts. There's a lot of expenses that you're paying over here. Okay, you want to minimize them. Okay, and by the way, safety nets are good, but at the same time, you also need moderate and ambitious universities. Ambitious ones are the ones that you personally want to get into. They can be your dream universities. Moderate ones are the ones which are like, okay, these are good enough for me to get into. You wouldn't mind going in there. Okay, so it needs to be a good mix overall. In the end, you should have multiple admits. That's what the goal is. If you do the shortlisting right, if you apply in the right manner, now that this happened to me as well. I had a lot of admits to choose from, and that choice, right, that gives you a lot of alternatives. See, you do not know how the universities are going to be once they give you the admit, how the programs are going to be, okay, how things are going to turn out. Like, for instance, fall 2020, COVID-19, no one knew it was going to affect, it was going to be here. But at the same time, now we know that if you had a lot of admits, you will have a lot of choices, right? You will have choices in terms of, hey, University A is not complying with me. They are not letting me defer my admit, but University B is letting me do that. They're letting me defer my admits, and I want to defer, so I can go with University B. So just having those choices, right? And this doesn't just apply to the case of COVID-19. Trust me, it's a lot bigger than that. I don't want to get into that right now, but once you have the admits, trust me, you want to have more of them, as much of them as possible. Okay. So yeah, that's your goal. And now we'll talk about the priorities and how we can help you in doing that, how I can help you, okay, and how you can also help yourself in this process. I'll tell you the exact process that you should be following. Okay, so the first thing, what should be your priorities in this case? Okay, now your priorities need to be sorted. I've seen, and this is the case with a lot of Asian kids, their priorities are not right. The thing is, because the countries that they are going to in the West are essentially very different. Like the education system is very different. The way that people do the hiring over there, the research over there is very different from what it's done in Asia. Okay, and essentially that's why I've seen that a lot of kids just make a mess over here. Okay, I'll talk about that in a bit. Okay, I'll make sure that you do not make a mess. The first thing that your priority should be is finances. See, everyone has a different financial situation. Someone may be very well off. This financial situation may not be a limiting factor for them, but for most people I know, finances will be a limiting factor. If you're taking up a loan, I would say the financial situation is a limiting factor for you. Make sure that you're going to a university that offers courses that you can afford. For instance, I'll tell you, I went to USC with a loan on my head, and one course over there, which was about 4 credits, okay, one course, let's say a machine learning course, 4 credits, it was about $8,000, more than $8,000 actually. And if you just convert that into your currency, you'll say that that's a lot of money for just one course, and you have to do like 2 or 3 courses per semester. Just calculate the amount of money you'll be spending in 4 semesters. Okay, so you want to make sure that you are able to afford the degree that you're going for. Okay, you don't want to pay a ridiculous amount. Like you can get these courses online for $50. You do not need to pay $8,000, right? So even if you're paying a lot more, make sure it's something that you can afford. Because yeah, you will get the tag of the university, but still, it's not something that you can just throw money off and lose all of your life savings, right? So that's number one, finances. Number two, location, and this is the part which I was talking about. People from Asia, I believe, they have the most misconceptions about this thing. Okay, I'll tell you why. Location is the number 2 most important factor in my opinion, and don't take it personally. I know most people who are watching this are Asians. This is because I'm making this. Okay, this is because I had this misconception. I made this mistake, and I do not want you to make that. Okay, so what people do over here now, they're used to this system that better universities are the ones which rank high, and you need to go to only the highest ranking universities, and their shortlists also I see are based on the ranking. Usually like 99% of it is just because of the ranking. So what they care about is that the rank of the university should be top notch. This is what your relatives will care about. I'll tell you that your relatives will care about whether you go on to the rank 1, 2, 3, 10, 20, whatever you go on to. Okay, what you should care about is the location. Okay, and let me tell you why. See, if let's say you go on to a location which is not very friendly, let's say you go on to South Dakota, okay, and you're going for, I don't know, an MBA or a computer science program, just think about it. The opportunities over there are going to be very limited opportunities, and who knows what this economy is going to be like when you graduate, right? And at that point of time, you're going to have very limited options in terms of internships, in terms of jobs, and you need to find those jobs in that OPT period, that the period that you're given, that you need to get these jobs, or you're deported. So make sure that this thing is not the limiting factor in your case. You should have plenty of jobs. I would say the ranking can be a little lower. You can compromise a little bit on the ranking, not a lot, not like go from rank 30 to 300, no, but compromise a little. Choose rank 50 instead of rank 30, even though rank 30 is better, but still rank 50 is something that is in a prime location. You will get a lot of advantages. Trust me, you will thank me for this in the end. 2 years later, you'll comment down here and you'll tell me that, hey, this was the best advice that anyone could have given me. And this is from my experience as well. Okay, these hotspots may be different depending on your program. For a finance graduate, maybe for a finance program, the hotspots may be around New York in the case of US. Now this also depends on the country, of course, right? Toronto in case of Canada. For a CS program, they may be California in the case of US. So make sure that you know your hotspots, do your research. If you do not know, we actually have a lot of these things going on at on my Instagram page. You can just go on and check these out. We often post these things, like they're very helpful, like which cities you should stay in, all of these things, like top universities in Germany for architecture, then there's universities with low tuition fee. Okay, so all of these things we keep on posting. The locations also, which location you should consider Okay, so these things you should definitely check these out. I think they will, probably be things that you will, thank me for. Like they will help you out a lot. Okay, so let me actually just remove that over here. So what I'm talking about right now mainly is that you need to take care of the location, choose it very, very wisely. I'll quickly go over the next few parts because I've already made this 10 minutes long. Okay, so the next priority would be the ranking. Okay, the ranking is important. Okay, you all know that already. So, but still, keep it below finances and location. The next thing, international students should be accepted at that university. If your university does not accept international students, that's a very bad sign. You should not apply to it. Okay, do your research. I'll show you how you can get that for free. Okay, so let's just say that I'm taking a look at New York University. Okay, I'll take a look at it over here. See, the international students over here are almost 90%, 88% international students. That's a very good sign, and I think it's worth applying to, right? You can check out other universities. Maybe you want to check out Stanford, right? So you can just check out Stanford University over here. You will see that the international students over here are still good enough, 43%, but still, it's still good enough. But if you're applying to a university like, let me just give you an example, University of Maine. Okay, let me just go over here, select that, and you will see the number of international students over here are just about 2%. How do you manage to apply to a university like this? Like, this is a prime example of not doing your research right. If you're applying to this university and you're an international student, you haven't done your research right, because this university clearly does not want to get into the whole concept of DSOs and international students and managing the service and everything. So don't apply to these universities. Why? There's no need. There's so many other universities out there. Do your research. Okay, YMGrad will help you with that. It's free data. Just sign up, see this data, and do this research for yourself. Okay, and finally, check out the class profile. The class profile is the other students that attend this university who got the admission. What does their profile look like? Okay, I'll show you two resources for that. Number one is the same page. Let me actually open up a better university page. Let's say I'll open up New York University only. Okay, New York University. All right, let's open that up, and you will see over here that we have the class profile. What is the average GPA? What are the language scores, TOEFL, IELTS, whatever scores you need to get in, GRE scores. If you select business, you will see the scores for other things like the GMAT, average GMAT score. What is the annual salary? All of these things you should understand, that your profile should match with these. Okay, it's important that you know these, because without it, you're making a huge mistake. You're not utilizing the resources that are available to you for free. Okay, and finally, there's another section. Resource number 2 would be if you go on over here to the decisions tab. Okay, these are the admits and rejects. If you're applying to maybe NYU, what you should do is just type in New York University over here and search for it. Just search and see the profiles of the people who are admitted. Check out their profiles, check out their resumes, check out their other things. All of these things, you can check them out, and it's available to you for free. So my only advice would be that you should definitely go ahead and check this out. It's stuff that is important. It's stuff that is that can potentially save you money. It's stuff that can potentially save you years of your time. So that's everything that you should consider. Now, there's a specialized process that we incorporate at YMGrad. We use a lot of data. This is very limited data as compared to this. We use probably 3-4 times data more than this. So if you would be interested in taking my help for that, okay, now you don't have to do this, but for people who would like to, you can just go onto this page, the services page, and you can go onto the Profile Evaluation University Shortlisting Service, and you can see that we can do this for you. Okay, all you need to do, enroll into the service on YMGrad itself. Like, everything is online. You need to submit the inputs. As soon as you do that, your dashboard will have an option for submitting the inputs. You can go ahead, do that in the portal, submit your complete profile, and you will get an output looking like this. I promised you an output, right? This is the output. So the university name, the location, the ambitious, moderate, safe universities. You will select the number of universities and everything, whatever you want. Okay, we have FAQs over here. Check these out. Check all of these things out. Make sure that you understand this is what you want. I can help you with that, like I said, if you need, but this is not necessary. I've already explained most of the things that you should be considering. Okay, now we don't limit this to any country. Now, we don't say only US. If you want universities in Canada, Germany, whatever, just let us know in the inputs and we'll do that for you. Okay, and finally, apart from that, like I said, all the resources are available to you for free. Don't worry about it. Just do this process right. Okay, I hope that this video helps you. Subscribe to the channel if you like the research that I did over here. It would really help, and I hope to see you in the next one. Give me a thumbs up, and goodbye. Take care.